Welcome to The Explainer. We love to dig into the big ideas that are shaping our world. And today, we're talking about something huge, something that's quietly changing the entire internet: age verification. So let's just get right into it. Have you ever gone to a website, I don't know, maybe for news or social media or even just shopping, and bam, it asks you to prove you're an adult by uploading your passport or driver's license? It's kind of weird, right? Well, there's a really big reason this is happening more and more, and it's not just you. And honestly, that reason, it really does start from a good place, a place of genuine concern. Because let's face it, the internet, as amazing as it is, has also become a place with some very real, very serious risks for kids. And lawmakers all over the world are scrambling to figure out what to do about it. And, the pandemic just threw gasoline on this fire. Think about it. Between 2020 and 2022, screen time for kids shot up by a staggering 80%. 80! That huge jump threw them headfirst into online spaces where, let's be real, they could stumble across anything from adult content to, even worse, actual predatory behavior.
So, what are governments doing? Well, from the UK all the way to the US, they're rolling out these new age verification laws. And what these laws do is, well, they essentially deputize online companies. They legally require them to act like digital bouncers, checking IDs at the door for any content that gets labeled harmful to minors. And at first glance, it looks like it's working. I mean, take Louisiana. They were one of the first U.S. states to bring in a really strict law for this. And what happened? They reported a massive 70% drop in traffic from minors to adult websites. So, problem solved, right? Case closed? Well, not so fast. See, this is where it gets complicated, because this seemingly simple solution creates a brand new, massive problem. It's like setting up a head-on collision between two fundamental values we all hold dear: keeping kids safe and preserving our own personal freedom online. And this is the trade-off, the core conflict right here. In our mission to build a safer internet for children, we are creating these systems that demand every single adult prove their identity. And in doing so, we might be sacrificing the very things that have been a cornerstone of the open internet for decades: anonymity and privacy. Privacy advocates have a name for this. They call it the identification paradox. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. It says, users now have to choose between accessing legal content and keeping their privacy, a choice that really shouldn't even exist in a free society. It forces every adult into this impossible position: give up your privacy or give up your right to access totally legal stuff online. Okay, so this isn't just some philosophical debate. This has very real, very practical consequences. So let's talk about the risks. Because what we're building here is something cybersecurity experts have a name for: a honeypot. It's basically a giant, glowing pot of gold that's just irresistible to hackers and criminals. I mean, just think about what's actually happening when you do this. You're not just confirming your age, you're uploading a photo of your driver's license or passport that has your home address, your signature, your full name, a unique ID number, all of it. And this isn't just staying with one company. It's being stored in these massive databases, sometimes sent to third-party verification companies you've never even heard of. That creates so many different places where things can go wrong. And who's to say that data won't be used for something else, like targeted ads? And look, this isn't some what-if scenario. It's already happening. In 2022, a single verification company, just one, called Age ID, got hacked. Over 1.3 million user identities were exposed. And once your ID is out there on the dark web, it's out there forever. That's a lifelong risk of identity theft that you now have to worry about.
But the fallout goes way beyond just data breaches. The consequences are rippling out everywhere. These laws are putting a huge strain on businesses. And maybe even more concerning, they're starting to lock entire communities out of the digital world. I mean, just look at the cost of compliance. We're talking tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get the technical stuff set up, not to mention the ongoing monthly fees. Now, if you're a tech giant, maybe you can absorb that. But what if you're a small online business, a startup? That's a crippling expense. For many, it's just completely unaffordable. And the impact on e-commerce is just brutal. We're not even just talking about adult content sites anymore. Any website that has to put this hurdle in front of its users, this show me your papers moment, sees a huge drop-off. I mean, up to 70% of people just give up on registering. They abandon their shopping carts. They cancel subscriptions. They just go somewhere else. But honestly, beyond the business impact, this is where it gets really serious. There's a real human cost here. What about people who don't have a government ID, like some undocumented immigrants, or a transgender person whose legal documents don't reflect who they are? What about a survivor of domestic violence who desperately needs an anonymous online support group? These systems, with the best of intentions, can accidentally lock out the most vulnerable people in our society, the very people who often need the internet the most. So, all of this brings us to the big, final question. Is this it? Are we watching the end of the anonymous internet, the one we all grew up with? Or is there another way? Is it possible to thread this needle, to have both safety and privacy? One of the biggest, most subtle dangers here is something called the chilling effect. It's what happens when people know they can be identified. They start to self-censor. You hesitate before searching for sensitive health information. You might avoid a political debate. You might not explore certain parts of your identity online. And bit by bit, the open, messy, and frankly vital conversation that the internet allows, it just starts to shrink. But what if there's a technological solution? There is a glimmer of hope on the horizon, and it's called self-sovereign identity, or SSI. Now stick with me because this is really cool. It completely flips the current model on its head. Imagine this. You get verified just one time by a trusted authority like the DMV. They give you a secure cryptographic credential that you and only you hold on your phone. It's your key. Then, when a website asks for your age, your device just sends a simple, secure yes or no. That's it. No name, no address, no photo of your license. Just proof of age, without proving your identity. Now, it's important to say SSI is still pretty new. It's not widespread. Yet. So, for now, we're stuck at this crossroads, and we have to face a really fundamental question about the kind of internet we want to build for ourselves and for the next generation. Is the price of safety an internet without privacy? That's the question on the table, and believe me, the debate is far from over.